It's Paul, Best of the West Arizona. I want to talk to you about our dual stack turret system. I've explained it in some of our other videos. I want to talk specifically today about the calibrations on our turrets. So for our Arizona customers, we generally recommend a 3,000 and a 7,000 foot turret system. 3,000 for when you're down south hunting coos deer, maybe central Arizona, and of course 7,000 when you're up on the rim and beyond. Each turret is valid for 2,000 feet of elevation in either direction, and that's assuming you've done a long range zero, which we've explained in other videos. But again, for our Arizona clients, we recommend a 3 and a 7. This is our dual stack turret system, and that's exactly what we've got here on this 6.5-284. We've got a 3,000 foot turret calibrated for 60 degrees and a 7,000 foot turret calibrated for 40 degrees. So those are the conditions that are most closely going to match the conditions that we're hunting in. And again, with a long range zero, you're going to be dead nuts from 200 to 1,000 yards. For my customers who hunt other western states, we sometimes do a 4,000 and an 8,000 foot turret. And so just a slight variation for people that might be hunting in the high country of Colorado or Wyoming or whatnot. Another way that we configure these turrets is what's called, now this is called a dual elevation. I've got a 3,000 and a 7,000. That's a dual elevation turret. But we also configure turrets in what we call continuous yardage. So what that means is, for example, we're up here today at about 7,500 feet. So I'm using my 7,000 foot turret. So let's assume this was my 7,000 foot turret, and let's assume I had done a continuous yardage. This turret will max out at just about 975 yards. If I had a continuous yardage turret on here, I would simply lift it up and it would continue 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 13, all in one dual stack turret system. So there's a couple different ways to configure your turret. Again, these are all computed and etched, calibrated based on the specific ballistics of my bullet going through my barrel on this gun. So it makes for a supremely accurate system. And again, we just recommend that customers have these calibrated for the conditions that they intend to be hunting in. And minor variations in temperature or elevation are generally ballistically irrelevant, especially for the hunter. To be off an inch or so is, again, ballistically irrelevant when we're hunting. But when you do a long range zero, you erase those differences anyway. So you make them ballistically insignificant. So that's our dual stack turret system. This is the Blue Diamond. We're using a 4-16 today, but the same goes for our tactical scopes with the larger black tactical turret. It's also a dual stack system. Many different ways to have them configured. Give us a call and we'll help you set up your system.